The spaceship shuddered as it pierced the dense clouds of the alien world. Liam gripped the controls tightly, eyes scanning the readouts. He had traveled many light years, but nothing had prepared him for the lush green planet beneath him. Thick forests stretched as far as he could see, dotted with strange glowing plants that shimmered like tiny stars. A soft hum of energy pulsed from the ground, something he had never recorded before. As he landed, the landing gears sank slightly into the soft, moss-like soil. Liam opened the hatch and stepped outside, feeling the warm, humid air wrap around him. The scent was strange, almost sweet, mixed with a hint of something wild. He took a careful step forward, scanning the forest for any signs of life. Suddenly, he noticed movement in the trees. A shadow darted between the trunks, too fast for him to follow. He froze, heart racing. Then he saw it, deep golden fur glinting in the sunlight. Nara, the alien beast woman, was observing him. Her eyes were sharp, like a predator calculating every move. Her muscles tensed, ready to leap. Liam could feel the danger in the air. He slowly raised his hands to show he meant no harm. Nara growled, low and threatening. Her claws scraped against the tree bark as she took a step closer. Liam took a small step back, careful not to startle her. Then he noticed something unusual. Her paw, one of her front limbs, was stuck in a twisted vine. A sharp thorn had pierced her skin, and she tried to pull free but only winced in pain. Liam's instincts screamed at him to run, but another part of him urged him to help. He had always believed humans could understand and respect life, even in alien forms. "I won't hurt you," he said softly, keeping his voice calm. Nara's ears twitched. She hissed, warning him to stay away, but she did not move back. Liam stepped forward slowly, careful not to make sudden movements. He knelt, examining the thorn without touching her. "It's small, but it hurts," he murmured. Nara's growl deepened. "Keep staring and I'll pounce," she warned, her voice low and guttural. Liam froze. The threat was clear, but he did not move his eyes away. Slowly, he spoke again, gently, "I can help you. Please, let me help." She shifted slightly, eyeing him with suspicion. Every muscle in her body screamed tension, but the pain in her paw made her hesitate. Liam reached out carefully with one hand, keeping it open and visible. Nara flinched, but did not attack. Liam's heart pounded as he reached the thorn. It was sharp and curved, perfect for gripping the paw. He took a deep breath. "This will hurt a little," he said. Nara growled but did not move. He grabbed the thorn gently and pulled. Nara let out a hiss, but the thorn came free. Blood seeped from the small wound. Liam immediately took a clean cloth from his bag and pressed it gently against her paw. Nara stared at him, her eyes wide and alert. Liam held her gaze, careful not to flinch. After a few moments, she relaxed slightly, lowering her paw to the ground. She sniffed at him, testing whether he was a threat. Liam smiled faintly. "There, all better," he said softly. She tilted her head, studying him. Her growl softened to a low rumble. Liam took the chance to observe her. She was tall and strong, her golden fur glimmering in the sunlight. Her claws were long, sharp, and deadly, but she moved with grace, like a hunter built for speed and power. Her eyes shone with intelligence. Liam realized that Nara was not just an animal, she was smart and aware, capable of understanding more than he first thought. "Do you understand me?" Liam asked quietly. Nara cocked her head and let out a soft sound, almost like a question. Liam smiled. I think you do. Suddenly, a noise from the forest startled both of them. Liam spun toward the sound, but Nara's ears twitched. She moved with incredible speed, disappearing into the trees, then returned to his side. Her eyes stayed on him, alert. Liam realized that she was testing him, deciding whether he was friend or foe. Time passed slowly. Liam learned to move with her rhythm, careful not to frighten her. He offered her water from his canteen, which she sniffed but did not drink. Instead, she tilted her head as if acknowledging his gesture. Liam understood that trust would take time. As the sun began to set, Liam realized he could not leave immediately. The forest was alive with sounds, strange calls, the rustle of unseen creatures, and the glow of plants lighting the ground. He made a small camp near Nara, careful to give her space. Nara did not leave. She sat nearby, watching him, sometimes growling softly when he made sudden movements. For the first time, Liam felt a connection with an alien being. It was not friendship yet, but it was respect. Both were aware that the other could be dangerous. Yet, the shared moment of trust the thorn removed, the pain relieved was a small bridge between them. As night fell, Liam looked at the stars above the forest canopy. He wondered what other secrets this planet held and whether Nara would guide him through them. He knew one thing for certain: humanity had a way to shine, not through force or weapons, but through understanding and courage. Nara was fierce, strong, and wild, yet she had allowed him to help her. That moment would stay with him, a sign that even in the unknown, trust could exist. Nara shifted her weight, letting out a soft, almost approving sound. Liam smiled faintly, knowing that the journey ahead would be dangerous, but that together they might just survive. The forest was alive with sounds as dawn broke. Sunlight filtered through the thick canopy, painting patches of gold and green on the soft moss below. Liam woke to the faint rustle of leaves. He opened his eyes slowly, careful not to startle the creature nearby. Nara sat a few meters away, her golden fur catching the early light. Her eyes were fixed on him, sharp and alert, watching his every move. Liam stretched carefully and whispered, "Good morning." Nara tilted her head and let out a low rumble. She had stayed close during the night, a silent guard, though she had not allowed him to approach. Liam understood her caution. She was wild, yet intelligent. Her trust would take time. He gathered his supplies and prepared a small meal. He left it at a safe distance, watching as Nara cautiously approached. She sniffed the food, then looked at him. Liam sat on a fallen log, hands open and relaxed. "It's safe," he said softly. Slowly, Nara picked at the food, her sharp eyes never leaving him. Liam smiled, relieved. After the meal, Liam stood and spoke again. "I want to understand you. I don't want to hurt you." Nara growled lightly but did not retreat. Her posture was tense, ready to leap, yet she allowed him to stay. Liam realized this was progress. She was testing him, measuring his intentions. Over the next few hours, Liam watched Nara move through the forest. Her grace amazed him. Every movement was precise and powerful. She climbed trees with ease, leapt over fallen logs, and listened carefully to the smallest sounds. He noticed her intelligence as she paused to observe a strange insect, her eyes following it with curiosity. She was learning about him as much as he was learning about her. Liam decided to try communicating in small ways. He mimicked her body movements, crouching low, moving silently, and avoiding direct eye contact at first. Nara watched him carefully. Then, she made a low sound, almost like a question. Liam froze, then tried to mimic it. Nara tilted her head, studying him. Slowly, a small connection formed. He understood that she recognized his effort. They moved together through the forest, exploring cautiously. Liam pointed out small details: a strange plant, a glowing fungus, a shallow stream. Nara sniffed and touched each one, learning from his gestures. In return, she guided him past dangerous roots and hidden holes, keeping him from falling. Liam felt a growing respect for her skills. Suddenly, a sharp noise echoed through the trees. Liam froze. Nara's ears twitched, and her body tensed like a coiled spring. She moved ahead, disappearing into the underbrush, then returned moments later with a small animal in her jaws. She dropped it carefully near him, watching his reaction. Liam realized this was a gesture of trust and teaching. She wanted him to understand her world, her ways. As the day passed, Liam grew bolder. He stepped closer, offering water from his canteen. Nara sniffed it carefully before drinking. Liam laughed softly, happy that she accepted his gesture. He began to notice the small things about her: the twitch of her ears when she was curious, the flick of her tail when she was cautious, the way she tilted her head when she tried to understand him. But trust was fragile. Nara was quick to remind him of her strength. When Liam reached to pet her shoulder lightly, she hissed and snapped her claws near him. Liam froze, heart racing. He pulled back slowly and bowed his head, showing respect. Nara watched him, then relaxed, but she did not move closer. Liam understood that patience was required. Respect and caution must be balanced. The sun climbed higher, and they ventured deeper into the forest. Liam noticed signs of other creatures' footprints, broken branches, faint growls in the distance. Nara's senses were sharper than his, and he relied on her guidance. She would pause, sniffing the air, then lead him around dangers he could not see. Liam began to feel grateful, not just for her help, but for the lessons she offered. Humanity's ingenuity and caution combined with her natural instincts created a strong partnership. At midday, they reached a small clearing with a calm stream. Liam knelt by the water to drink. Nara watched him closely, muscles tense but not threatening. He cupped water in his hands and offered it to her again. This time, she drank without hesitation. Liam smiled. Each small step built the fragile bridge of trust between them. While resting, Liam tried more gestures to communicate. He pointed at the sun, then at himself, then at her, hoping she would understand his curiosity. Nara responded with soft sounds, tilting her head, moving closer, testing his reactions. Liam realized that communication was not just about words. Observation, patience, and understanding could create a bond even between species that had never met. The afternoon brought a sudden challenge. A loud crashing noise came from the trees nearby. Liam's heart raced. Nara's ears twitched, and her eyes narrowed. A large creature with dark scales and sharp claws appeared, moving quickly toward them. Liam froze, unsure what to do. Nara crouched low, ready to spring. Her growl vibrated through the clearing, warning the creature. Liam realized that despite her size, her intelligence was more dangerous than her strength. The creature hesitated, eyeing Nara. Then it lunged. Nara leaped with incredible speed, her claws swiping and teeth snapping. Liam watched in awe as she fought, her agility unmatched. The creature retreated after a tense few moments, giving Nara the victory. Liam exhaled deeply, Heart pounding. He understood then that Nara's trust in him included protection, and that together, they could survive dangers he could not face alone. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, Liam and Nara returned to the small camp he had made earlier. Nara sat nearby, still alert but calm. Liam placed his hands on the ground, showing he was not a threat. Nara tilted her head, letting him come closer. He smiled, realizing that trust was growing, step by step, moment by moment. Night fell. Stars peeked through the canopy, shining brightly over the forest. Liam looked at Nara and said softly, "We will understand each other. I promise." Nara made a low, soft sound, almost like agreement. She rested near him, not touching, but close enough to sense his presence. Liam knew the journey ahead would be full of challenges. The forest was dangerous, the planet full of unknown creatures, and survival uncertain. But with Nara at his side, he felt a sense of hope. Humanity's strength was not in weapons alone, but in courage, patience, and the ability to connect even with beings that seemed alien and wild. He settled down to rest, knowing that tomorrow would bring new tests and new lessons. Nara watched over him, a silent guardian, her golden fur glowing faintly in the moonlight. The bond between human and alien Beastwoman had begun, fragile but real. Liam understood that this was only the beginning of a journey that would test both of them, and that together, they could face the unknown. The next morning, the forest was alive with sounds and colors. Sunlight streamed through the thick leaves, casting dancing patterns on the ground. Liam rose quietly from his small camp. Nara was already awake, sitting near a tree with her ears twitching as she listened to the faint noises of the forest. She watched Liam carefully, her sharp eyes following every movement. He smiled softly, trying not to startle her. "Good morning, Nara," he said. She tilted her head but did not respond with sound. Liam knew that patience was key. Trust was growing slowly, step by step, and he could not rush it. Liam decided to explore further into the forest. He packed some supplies, careful not to make noise. Nara rose silently and followed him, her movements graceful and precise. Liam noticed how different her perspective was. She stopped frequently, sniffing the air, listening carefully, and observing small changes in the surroundings that he would have missed. He realized that she saw the world in ways humans could not. As they moved, Liam began to observe Nara more closely. Her golden fur shimmered in the sunlight. Her claws were sharp and powerful, but she moved with such control that nothing in the forest seemed threatened unless she wanted it to be. Her eyes were intelligent and curious. Liam began to understand that she was not just a predator, but a thoughtful being capable of learning and teaching. He wanted to communicate, so he began using gestures. He pointed to plants, water, and even himself, hoping she would understand. Nara watched him carefully, tilting her head when she did not understand, making soft sounds when she noticed something unusual. Slowly, Liam realized that she was trying to understand him in her own way. After walking for several hours, they reached a small river. The water was clear and cold, flowing quickly over smooth stones. Liam knelt to drink and offered the water to Nara. She sniffed it cautiously before drinking. Liam watched her, impressed by her caution and intelligence. He realized that understanding each other would take time, but moments like this built the bond they needed. While resting by the river, Liam decided to learn from Nara as well. He observed her hunting techniques. She moved silently, scanning the surroundings with sharp focus. When a small creature appeared, she crouched low, watching it with patience. Then, in a single swift movement, she captured it with precision and skill. Liam admired her ability to combine strength, speed, and intelligence. He tried to imitate her movements, crouching low and moving slowly through the forest. Nara watched him carefully, her eyes narrowing at first. Then she made a soft sound and circled him, examining his technique. Liam realized she was testing him, seeing whether he could adapt to her world. He smiled faintly, knowing that learning her ways would help him survive and earn her trust. As the day went on, Liam and Nara discovered more about each other. He offered small gifts from his supplies: water, fruit, and pieces of energy bars. Nara accepted them cautiously, sniffing each item before eating. In return, she taught him about the forest. She led him around dangerous plants, hidden holes, and areas where predators might appear. Liam realized that she was guiding him not just with strength, but with knowledge and wisdom. Nara also began showing signs of curiosity about him. She sniffed his clothes, examined his tools, and made soft sounds that seemed like questions. Liam responded carefully, demonstrating his tools and showing her how they worked. Nara watched intently, her eyes wide with interest. It was clear she was learning, just as he was learning from her. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the forest. Liam froze, and Nara crouched low, her muscles tense. A large alien bird with sharp beak and glowing feathers swooped down toward them. Nara sprang into action, moving with speed and precision. She blocked the bird with her powerful limbs, her claws swiping as the bird tried to strike. Liam watched in awe as she fought, realizing that her strength was matched by intelligence and strategy. After a tense few moments, the bird retreated. Nara let out a low sound and looked at Liam, as if to say that he had survived because of her guidance. Liam nodded, understanding her message. He reached out slowly, keeping his hands visible, and said softly, "Thank you." Nara tilted her head and made a soft sound, accepting his words in her own way. As the sun began to set, Liam realized how much he had learned from Nara in just one day. She had taught him patience, observation, and the importance of respect in the wild. In return, he had shown her that humans could be careful, thoughtful, and willing to help. Their bond was growing, built on small moments of trust, understanding, and shared experience. That evening, they made camp near the river. Liam prepared a small meal, leaving space between him and Nara. She sat nearby, watching him, her eyes alert but calm. Liam spoke softly, sharing thoughts about the day, about the forest, and about the creatures they had seen. Nara listened, occasionally making sounds in response, and sometimes moving closer, testing the boundaries of trust. Night fell, and the stars shone brightly above the forest canopy. Liam looked at Nara and said quietly, "Tomorrow, we will explore further. I want to understand your world, and I hope you want to understand mine." Nara tilted her head, making a soft rumble. Liam smiled, feeling a sense of hope. Their journey together was only beginning, and the lessons they shared would shape both of them. He settled down to rest, feeling a sense of peace. Nara remained nearby, her presence a reminder of the wild, intelligent, and powerful being he had come to trust. Liam knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges and new discoveries, but he also knew that together, they could face them. Humanity's courage, intelligence, and patience had earned a chance to shine in this strange, wild world. The night passed quietly, with only the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft sound of flowing water. Liam drifted to sleep, comforted by the knowledge that he was not alone. Nara was near, watching, learning, and slowly building a bond that would guide them through the dangers and wonders of the forest. The sun was high in the sky, filtering through the dense canopy of the alien forest. Liam and Nara moved carefully among the towering trees, exploring deeper into the unknown world. Liam carried his tools and supplies, while Nara led the way, her golden fur shimmering as she moved with grace. Every step Liam took was guided by her instincts. He realized that her senses were far sharper than his, and he had begun to trust her completely. The forest seemed calm at first, but Liam felt a subtle tension in the air. Birds chirped, leaves rustled, and somewhere in the distance, a faint growl echoed. Nara's ears twitched, and her body stiffened. Liam noticed her muscles coiling like a spring, ready to react. He had learned to recognize these signs. Danger was near, and Nara was preparing for it. Suddenly, a pack of alien predators burst through the underbrush. They were large, with dark scales, sharp claws, and glowing eyes that reflected the sunlight. Liam froze in fear, but Nara sprang into action immediately. She moved faster than he could track, placing herself between him and the creatures. Her growl reverberated through the forest, a warning to the attackers. The predators circled, testing her, but Nara was ready. She leaped with incredible speed, swiping her claws and biting with precision. Liam watched in awe as she fought. Her movements were controlled and calculated. She did not strike wildly, every action had a purpose. Liam realized that her intelligence was just as dangerous as her strength. One of the predators lunged toward Liam. He froze, unsure what to do. Nara reacted instantly, leaping between him and the attacker. She growled loudly, forcing the predator to retreat slightly. Liam used the moment to grab a nearby branch, holding it like a weapon. Though it was nothing compared to Nara's claws, it gave him a sense of control. The battle continued, the forest filled with the sounds of growls, snapping claws, and rustling leaves. Liam watched carefully, learning from Nara's tactics. She moved with agility, using the trees and terrain to her advantage. When one predator tried to circle behind her, she jumped onto a low branch and struck it with a swift kick. Liam realized that her intelligence allowed her to anticipate attacks and react faster than any human could. After several tense minutes, the predators retreated, disappearing into the forest. Nara stood tall, her chest heaving slightly from exertion, but she remained alert. Liam approached cautiously, careful not to startle her. "You were amazing," he said quietly. Nara tilted her head, her ears twitching. She had protected him, yet she expected nothing in return. Liam examined the area, noting the footprints and signs of the predators. He realized how dangerous the forest could be, and how much he relied on Nara's guidance. Without her, he would not have survived the encounter. His respect for her grew even stronger. Humanity's strength lay not just in tools and technology, but in courage, observation, and the ability to work with others, even beings from another world. As they continued, Liam tried to communicate with Nara about the attack. He pointed to the footprints, then to her, and made gestures indicating the predators. Nara watched him carefully, tilting her head as if trying to understand. She made low, soft sounds, and Liam realized that she was responding, sharing information in her own way. Communication did not require words, understanding could be built through gestures, observation, and shared experiences. After walking for some time, they reached a small clearing with a shallow stream. Liam knelt to drink and offered water to Nara. She sniffed it cautiously before drinking. The forest was quieter now, but Liam knew danger could return at any moment. He had learned that survival required vigilance, but also trust. Nara had proven that humans and alien beings could work together, combining intelligence and instinct. While resting, Liam noticed something unusual. Nara circled the clearing, sniffing and listening. She paused, then made a low growl, signaling that something was nearby. Liam watched her closely. Suddenly, a smaller predator appeared, darting quickly toward the stream. Nara reacted instantly, chasing it away before it could reach them. Liam realized that even minor threats required attention, and that Nara's senses were invaluable. He decided to try helping her in small ways. Liam picked up rocks and sticks, arranging them near the stream to create barriers and guide the smaller predators away. Nara observed him carefully, tilting her head. After a moment, she moved closer, sniffing the objects he had placed. Liam smiled faintly. She was beginning to trust that his actions could support her, not endanger her. As the day progressed, Liam learned more from Nara about the forest. She showed him paths that were safe, areas where food could be found, and hidden shelters. Liam realized that she was not just a protector, but also a teacher. Humanity's strength could shine through learning and observation. By respecting her knowledge, he could survive and thrive in this alien world. Evening came, and the forest glowed with a golden hue. Liam and Nara found a safe spot to rest near a large tree. Liam prepared a small meal, careful to give Nara space. She sat nearby, alert but calm, watching him. Liam spoke softly about the day, sharing his thoughts and observations. Nara listened, occasionally making low sounds in response, and sometimes moving closer, testing the boundaries of trust. Night fell, and the stars lit up the sky above the canopy. Liam looked at Nara and said quietly, "We survived today because of each other. I am grateful for your help." Nara tilted her head, making a soft sound that Liam interpreted as agreement. The bond between them had grown stronger, built on shared challenges, respect, and the understanding that together, they could face the dangers of this wild planet. Liam settled down to rest, feeling a sense of peace. Nara remained nearby, her golden fur glowing faintly in the moonlight. He understood that the forest was dangerous, but with intelligence, courage, and trust, survival was possible. Humanity's qualities of observation, learning, and bravery could shine even in the most alien environments. As he drifted to sleep, Liam reflected on the day. The sudden threat of the predators had tested both of them, but it had also strengthened their bond. He knew that future challenges would come, but he also knew that together, they could face them. Nara was no longer just a wild creature, she was a partner, a teacher, and a friend. The night passed quietly, filled with the sounds of flowing water and the rustle of leaves. Liam slept peacefully, comforted by the presence of Nara. The forest was alive with unknown dangers, but the partnership they had begun promised strength, courage, and hope. Humanity's spirit had made a mark on this alien world, not through force alone, but through understanding, respect, and the ability to connect with a being from a different world. The morning light filtered softly through the thick forest canopy. Liam stretched, feeling the tension from the previous day's encounter with the predators. Nara was already awake, standing near the edge of the camp with her ears twitching and her sharp eyes scanning the surroundings. Liam admired her vigilance. She had saved his life more than once, and now he understood that survival on this alien world depended on both intelligence and trust. Today, Liam had a goal. He needed to locate the rare mineral deposit that was the reason for his mission. However, he knew it would be dangerous. The planet was alive with creatures and environmental hazards, and no human alone could survive the journey. He looked at Nara and said quietly, I need your help today. Will you guide me? Nara tilted her head, studying him carefully. She circled slowly, sniffing the air. Then she let out a low growl and stepped closer. Liam smiled faintly. He understood her answer. She would guide him, but only if he respected her territory. He nodded solemnly. I promise, he said softly. Nara seemed satisfied and led the way, moving gracefully between the trees. The forest grew thicker as they advanced. Liam followed carefully, observing the signs of danger Nara pointed out through her gestures and sounds. Broken branches, deep footprints, and claw marks on the trees all told a story he could now understand. He realized how much humans could learn from beings who were perfectly adapted to their environment. Nara's intelligence and instincts were invaluable. After several hours, they reached a river with fast-moving water. Liam studied the area, unsure how to cross safely. Nara approached the bank, leaping gracefully from rock to rock. She stopped, looking back at him, as if saying, "Follow me carefully." Liam nodded and carefully tested each step. He slipped once, but Nara steadied him with a quick swipe of her paw, preventing a fall. He realized that teamwork was essential in this place. Humanity's strength could shine when combined with guidance and support. Beyond the river, the terrain changed. Trees grew farther apart, and patches of glowing minerals appeared in the soil. Liam's heart raced. This was the beginning of the mineral deposit. However, the area also showed signs of a large, dangerous creature's territory. Nara stopped, ears twitching, and growled softly. Liam understood the warning. They were entering a zone that would test their skills and courage. Carefully, they moved forward. Nara led him along hidden paths, avoiding unstable ground and areas where predators might lurk. Liam observed her methods, learning how to read the forest. She used her senses to detect danger before it became visible. Liam realized that intelligence, observation, and patience were just as important as strength in survival. Suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the clearing. Liam froze, and Nara crouched low, her muscles coiled for action. A massive creature emerged from behind a cluster of rocks. Its body was covered in thick scales, its eyes glowing faintly. It was larger than any predator Liam had encountered, and its presence radiated danger. Liam's heart pounded. He had never seen anything like it. Nara stepped forward, positioning herself between Liam and the creature. Her growl was low and steady, a warning that they were not to be underestimated. Liam realized that the creature was territorial and would not allow intruders. He had to act carefully, relying on Nara's guidance and his own intelligence. The creature moved closer, its massive claws digging into the soil. Liam studied it carefully, noticing patterns in its movements. Nara's instincts were clear. She wanted to avoid a direct fight, but she would defend them if necessary. Liam picked up a nearby branch, using it to steady himself. He understood that humans had an advantage in strategy and planning. Intelligence could complement Nara's strength. They waited, observing the creature. Nara circled slowly, making soft sounds, trying to distract it. Liam followed her lead, positioning himself carefully and using small movements to avoid drawing attention. The strategy worked. The creature hesitated, confused by their movements. Liam realized that patience and careful observation could prevent a dangerous encounter from becoming deadly. Using teamwork, Liam and Nara slowly advanced toward the mineral deposit. Nara guided him past unstable rocks and hidden holes. Liam's knowledge of tools allowed him to create small distractions and barriers that helped them move safely. The combination of human intelligence and alien instincts was working. They were a team, each complementing the other's strengths. Finally, they reached a small clearing filled with glowing minerals. Liam's eyes widened. The deposit was more than he had expected. He knelt to examine it, taking careful measurements and collecting samples. Nara watched closely, her posture alert, ensuring no danger approached while Liam worked. He realized that the minerals alone were not the prize. The trust and teamwork between him and Nara were equally valuable. As Liam worked, Nara circled the area, keeping a sharp watch. A sudden movement in the corner of his vision made him look up. A smaller predator approached, drawn by the mineral's glow. Nara reacted instantly, leaping between the predator and Liam. With swift and precise movements, she chased it away. Liam marveled at her skill and intelligence. Her presence made the impossible seem achievable. After the smaller threat passed, Liam returned to collecting minerals. He spoke softly to Nara, sharing his thoughts and observations about the planet. Nara listened, occasionally making low sounds that he interpreted as acknowledgement. He realized that communication did not require words alone. Understanding could be built through shared experience, trust, and observation. By late afternoon, Liam had gathered enough samples for his mission. He looked at Nara and smiled. "We did it together," he said. She tilted her head, ears twitching, and made a soft sound. Liam understood it as agreement. Their bond had grown stronger through the shared goal, and through the challenges they had faced together. As they prepared to leave the clearing, Liam noticed more signs of the massive creature. He realized that they could not linger. Nara guided him along a safe path back toward the river, using hidden trails and natural cover to avoid detection. Liam followed carefully, learning to trust his instincts as much as Nara's guidance. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Liam and Nara reached the river safely, pausing to rest. He offered water and a small meal, which Nara accepted cautiously. She watched him as he ate, her eyes alert but calm. Liam smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and respect. Humanity's courage and intelligence had allowed him to survive, but it was the partnership with Nara that had made it possible. As night fell, Liam prepared a small camp near the river. Nara settled nearby, alert but relaxed. Liam reflected on the day's events. The shared goal had tested both of them, challenging their patience, intelligence, and courage. They had faced danger, navigated unknown terrain, and worked together to achieve success. The bond between human and alien Beastwoman had grown stronger, built on respect, trust, and shared experience. Stars shone brightly above the forest canopy, and the river reflected their light. Liam looked at Nara and whispered, "Tomorrow will bring new challenges, but I am glad you are here with me." Nara tilted her head and let out a soft sound, as if acknowledging his words. The forest was dangerous, unpredictable, and alive, but together they had found strength. Liam lay down to rest, feeling a sense of accomplishment and hope. Nara remained nearby, a silent guardian and partner. He knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, but he also knew that humanity's qualities, intelligence, courage, and the ability to connect with others could shine even in the wildest, most alien world. The night passed quietly, with only the gentle sound of flowing water and the rustle of leaves. Liam slept peacefully, comforted by the presence of Nara. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, but the partnership they had built today promised strength, courage, and hope. Together, human and alien Beastwoman could face the challenges of this strange world, and humanity's spirit would continue to shine through intelligence, respect, and bravery. The sun rose slowly over the dense alien forest, casting golden light on the tall trees and glowing plants. Liam packed his tools and supplies carefully. Today, he knew, would be the most dangerous part of the journey. The mineral deposit was nearby, but the area was guarded by a massive creature far larger than anything he had seen before. Nara moved beside him, her muscles tensed and ready. She had been calm in the past, but today, she was alert, her sharp eyes scanning every movement in the shadows. Liam studied the terrain as they approached the clearing. The ground was rocky and uneven, with glowing minerals scattered across the surface. The air carried a faint vibration, a warning of the massive creature's presence. Nara growled softly, signaling him to move cautiously. Liam nodded, keeping his movements slow and deliberate. He understood that survival depended on patience, intelligence, and trust in Nara. Suddenly, a shadow passed over them. Liam froze as the massive creature stepped into the clearing. Its body was covered in thick armored scales that reflected the sunlight. Its eyes glowed like amber, and its claws dug into the earth as it advanced. Liam's heart pounded. He had studied predators before, but nothing compared to this. Nara crouched low, tail flicking behind her, muscles ready to spring. The creature let out a deep roar that shook the ground. Liam stepped back instinctively, but Nara pressed closer to him, signaling that they must face this challenge together. She growled, her sharp claws scraping the soil. Liam realized that a direct fight was impossible. The creature was too powerful. He needed a plan that combined human intelligence and Nara's instincts. He looked around quickly. Rocks, fallen branches, and the uneven terrain could be used to their advantage. He gestured to Nara, pointing to a group of rocks and signaling that they could create a trap. Nara tilted her head, watching his movements. Slowly, she seemed to understand. Together, they began to work carefully, moving in ways that avoided the creature's notice. The massive creature roared again and took a step forward. Nara leaped into action, drawing its attention. Liam moved quietly, placing rocks and branches to create barriers and a narrow path that would guide the creature away from the mineral deposit. The plan required perfect timing. Nara's agility and strength would be the key, while Liam's cleverness would control the terrain. The creature lunged toward Nara. She dodged quickly, landing behind a tree and using her claws to make sudden movements that confused it. Liam adjusted the rocks, creating a barrier that slowed the creature's advance. Step by step, they guided it toward a narrow channel between rocks, where its size would make it difficult to move quickly. Liam held his breath, watching every movement. Nara circled the creature, making soft sounds and sudden strikes to keep its attention on her. The creature roared and lunged, but Nara's speed allowed her to avoid every strike. Liam moved swiftly, placing one final barrier that blocked its path. The creature struggled to move, confused, and trapped in the channel. Liam smiled faintly. Their teamwork was working. Intelligence and instinct, human and alien, combined to create success. With careful movements, Nara guided the creature further into the rocky channel while Liam created a diversion using small tools and sound. The creature growled, trying to free itself, but the narrow space limited its power. Finally, it retreated into the deeper forest, deciding the mineral deposit was not worth the effort. Liam exhaled deeply, his heart still pounding from the intensity. Nara watched him, eyes bright with alertness but calm. After the danger passed, Liam approached the clearing. The glowing minerals sparkled in the sunlight. He knelt carefully, taking samples and making observations. Nara circled the area, ensuring no other threats approached. Liam realized that without her, he would not have survived this final challenge. Her strength, intelligence, and instincts had saved him multiple times. Humanity's qualities, courage, planning, and observation had complemented her abilities. As he worked, Liam spoke softly to Nara. "We did it together. I could not have done this without you." Nara tilted her head, letting out a soft, approving sound. Liam understood it as acknowledgement of their teamwork. He felt a deep sense of respect and gratitude for her. Together, they had faced a danger neither could have overcome alone. Once he had collected the necessary samples, Liam took a moment to examine the area. He noticed signs that the creature might return. He gestured to Nara, signaling that they should move carefully back to safer terrain. Nara understood immediately, her body tense and ready. They began to retreat, moving slowly and deliberately, watching every shadow and listening to every sound. Along the way, Liam observed Nara more closely. Her movements were precise, controlled, and intelligent. Every step, every glance, every gesture had meaning. She was not only a protector but also a teacher. She had guided him through the forest, shown him how to observe and understand the environment, and helped him survive challenges he could not face alone. Humanity's ability to learn and adapt had allowed him to follow her lead. As they reached a safer part of the forest, Liam stopped to rest. He offered water from his canteen, which Nara accepted cautiously. He spoke softly, sharing his thoughts about the planet, the minerals, and the challenges they had faced. Nara listened, occasionally making low sounds in response, as if acknowledging his words. Liam realized that trust had grown between them. They were no longer stranger and alien. They were partners. Evening approached, and the forest glowed with a soft, golden light. Liam and Nara made camp near a stream, a place they had passed earlier. He prepared a small meal, giving Nara space to rest nearby. She watched him, alert but relaxed. Liam knew that the forest would continue to be dangerous, but he also knew that with teamwork, intelligence, and trust, they could face future challenges together. Liam reflected on the events of the day. The massive creature had tested their courage, intelligence, and patience. The mineral deposit was secured, but the true achievement was the bond they had built. Nara had shown him the strength of instinct and awareness. Liam had shown her the power of observation, planning, and careful action. Together, they had overcome the impossible. As night fell, stars shone brightly above the forest canopy. Liam looked at Nara and whispered, "Tomorrow, we continue, and I know we will face new challenges. But we have proven that together, we can succeed." Nara tilted her head and let out a soft sound, her eyes reflecting the starlight. Liam felt a deep sense of hope. He lay down to rest, feeling the exhaustion from the day but also the pride in their teamwork. Nara remained nearby, alert and watchful, her presence a comforting reminder that he was not alone. Humanity's courage, intelligence, and adaptability had been matched by Nara's instincts, strength, and wisdom. Together, they had overcome danger, navigated the unknown, and proven that trust and cooperation could conquer even the most alien challenges. The forest was quiet, except for the gentle flow of the stream and the rustle of leaves. Liam drifted to sleep, confident that the bond between human and alien Beastwoman had grown stronger than ever. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, but together, they could face any danger. Humanity's qualities, courage, intelligence, and respect would continue to shine in this strange, wild world. The first light of dawn painted the forest in shades of gold and green. Liam awoke, stretching carefully and listening to the soft sounds of the forest. Nara was already standing near the edge of the camp, her golden fur catching the morning light. Her eyes were alert, scanning the surroundings, but she did not move away. Liam smiled faintly. Trust had grown between them, solid and quiet, unspoken but strong. Today, they would begin the journey back to the landing site. The mineral samples were secure, but the forest was still full of unknown dangers. Liam packed his supplies carefully, checking every tool and container. Nara watched, her body relaxed but ready. Liam realized that survival had taught him patience, observation, and respect for life in ways he had never experienced before. They moved slowly through the forest. Liam followed Nara's lead, trusting her instincts as she navigated hidden paths, avoided unstable ground, and kept them clear of predators. Along the way, Liam began to notice the smaller details of the forest. Tiny glowing insects moved among the leaves. Strange plants bent in the breeze, as if sensing their presence. The forest was alive, and Nara's presence made it possible to move safely within it. After several hours, they reached a shallow river that marked the border of the mineral-rich area. Liam knelt to drink, offering water to Nara. She sniffed carefully before drinking. Liam marveled at the simple trust this small gesture represented. He understood that every step of the journey had strengthened their bond. Humanity's qualities, curiosity, courage, intelligence had allowed him to survive, but it was Nara's instincts, skill, and guidance that had made it possible. As they crossed the river, a rustling sound came from the trees. Liam froze, and Nara crouched low, muscles tense. A predator appeared, small but fast, its sharp claws glinting in the sunlight. Nara reacted instantly, moving between Liam and the creature. With a swift swipe of her paw, she sent it retreating into the underbrush. Liam watched her carefully, impressed by her precision and timing. Every action she took was measured, intelligent, and purposeful. They continued through the forest, moving steadily toward the landing site. Liam noticed that he was no longer just following Nara. He had learned to read the signs of danger, the broken branches, the footprints, the subtle sounds in the air. Humanity's strength lay not just in physical tools, but in observation and understanding. He had grown sharper, more aware, and more confident. Nara seemed to notice his progress, her eyes reflecting a quiet approval. As the sun climbed higher, they reached a clearing with tall, sturdy trees and soft moss underfoot. Liam paused, taking a moment to rest. Nara sat nearby, alert but calm, her tail flicking slowly. Liam spoke softly, sharing his thoughts about the journey, the forest, and the lessons he had learned. Nara made low sounds, tilting her head, and Liam realized that she had also learned from him. Trust and understanding were two-way. Both human and alien had adapted to each other's strengths and weaknesses. After resting, they continued their trek. The path to the landing site was longer than expected, filled with small obstacles and hidden dangers. Fallen logs, slippery slopes, and sudden drops required careful navigation. Liam relied on Nara's guidance, and she relied on his planning. Together, they moved efficiently, each complementing the other's abilities. Humanity's ingenuity and patience had combined with Nara's instinct and strength to create a partnership capable of surviving the forest's challenges. Eventually, they reached the final stretch. Liam could see the outline of his spaceship through the trees. Relief washed over him, but he remained cautious. Nara stayed close, scanning the forest one last time for threats. The partnership they had built had become strong, a bond forged in danger, patience, and understanding. Liam realized that survival was not only about strength or tools, but about cooperation and trust. As they approached the landing site, Liam took a moment to reflect. The minerals they had collected were important, but the true achievement was the bond he had formed with Nara. She had taught him the value of observation, patience, and respect for life. He had shown her that humans could be intelligent, careful, and capable of forming trust even with a being from a different world. Together, they had overcome challenges neither could have faced alone. Nara circled the landing site, sniffing the air and examining the ground. Liam followed, making sure to keep a safe distance while remaining close enough to support her. The forest behind them was quiet, but alive. He realized that this planet, with its strange creatures and glowing minerals, had tested humanity's ability to adapt and survive. The lessons he had learned would stay with him forever. Finally, they reached the spaceship. Liam opened the hatch and carefully placed the mineral samples inside. He looked back at Nara, who watched him quietly, her golden fur shining in the sunlight. Liam smiled and spoke softly, "We did it together. Thank you for guiding me and trusting me." Nara tilted her head and made a soft sound, almost like a nod. It was an acknowledgement of the bond they had forged. As the spaceship lifted off, Liam looked down at the forest. He thought about the dangers they had faced, the lessons they had learned, and the trust they had built. Humanity's courage, intelligence, and adaptability had allowed him to survive, but it was the partnership with Nara that had made the impossible possible. The forest, alive and wild, had been a teacher, and Nara had been the guide. During the journey back to orbit, Liam reflected on everything that had happened. The alien world had been dangerous, beautiful, and full of life. Nara had shown him the importance of instincts, observation, and strategy. He had shown her that humans could be careful, intelligent, and capable of forming trust. Together, they had survived, and their bond had grown stronger with every challenge. Nara sat beside him in the small cabin of the spaceship, alert but calm. Liam glanced at her and smiled. "You have taught me more than I could have imagined," he said softly. Nara responded with a low sound, acknowledging his words. Their partnership had become something more than survival. It was mutual respect, understanding, and trust that transcended species. As the spaceship soared into orbit, Liam knew that humanity's spirit had been tested and had shone brightly. Courage, intelligence, and the ability to work with others, even beings from another world, were the true strengths of humanity. Nara had shown him that strength was not only physical but also the ability to understand and adapt. Together, they had faced the challenges of a wild and alien planet and emerged stronger. The stars stretched out before them, vast and endless. Liam leaned back, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. He thought of the forest, the glowing minerals, and the dangers they had overcome. Nara rested nearby, her presence a reminder that trust, teamwork, and respect could create a bond capable of facing the unknown. Humanity's qualities had shown, not in isolation, but in cooperation, courage, and intelligence. The journey had ended, but the lessons would stay with him forever. Liam looked at Nara, feeling gratitude and respect. Together, human and alien had achieved what neither could have done alone. The bond they had forged was strong, and it would guide them in future challenges. Humanity's spirit had triumphed through understanding, courage, and the ability to form connections even in the most alien circumstances. As the spaceship flew toward the distant horizon, Liam knew one truth clearly. Survival was not only about strength or technology. It was about courage, intelligence, respect, and trust. The alien world had tested humanity's best qualities, and they had shown. Nara had been more than a guide, she had been a partner, a teacher, and a friend. Together, they had proven that even in the most dangerous and unfamiliar worlds, humanity could rise, adapt, and thrive. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, and the future was wide open. Liam sat quietly, watching the alien planet shrink below him. Nara rested nearby, and he knew that together, they had faced the impossible and succeeded. Humanity's light had shone brightly in the darkness, a beacon of intelligence, courage, and trust. And in the bond between human and alien, Liam had discovered the true meaning of strength and partnership.